Welcome back to Super Sentai Review, episode 321. This one, we're not reviewing Alpha Ranger this time. We're reviewing two movies. One from the previous series I watched, Go-Busters. The other one from a movie from a series I watched 2 years ago. That had been hanging on my head for a long time, basically, to watch, and I finally got it done. The first one is the one from Go-Busters, one I was hoping to do at some point, and here we go. We have Go-Buster Return versus Dōbutsu Sentai Go-Busters. Yeah. This film is just kind of weird, to say the least. So, we start off with the Go-Busters. Now, this movie is set after Messiah's defeat in episode 44, so this is before... Excuse me. So basically, this movie is set between episodes 44 and 45. Yeah. So, the Go-Busters and the energy management crew just cleaning the base, and they're informed that there's an attack, not by Vargas, nope, by this thing called Azazel. I don't know if it's not Metaloid. They don't identify what the heck this creature is. They attack it, and then they all die, including the Buddy Bots. And apparently, Nick is apparently considered the 1 millionth death, and goes to meet God, who looks like Enter. Well, it's the same actor, just a different hairstyle. He points like, "Enter, what are you doing here?" Because even he realized that's Enter. It's like, nope, I'm not Enter, I'm God. It's like, because you're the 1 millionth death, you get to have a wish. And his wish is to be in a world where Messiah did not happen. The incident that 13 years ago happened. So he arrives in the world, and it's really weird. So, because Messiah didn't happen, Himiru's parents are around, and he becomes a student teacher at a high school that Yoko goes to, and Yoko is one of his students. Which they imply in the movie these two are a thing for each other. It doesn't go anywhere. And that the commander is the principal of the school. Rigi is a science teacher. The other two Buddy Bots, they really don't know anything at all in this whole movie. They're just there. Nick is going to actually act like the audience. And, oh, by the way, the 999, the one before Nick, was Juicy. And apparently he remembers the events of the Virgo timeline, which is kind of weird. The fact that only these two do, nobody else. So, yeah. Oh, and we meet Jin in this story. And he is, well, normal. He did not get trapped in hyperspace in this reality. He's got a beard. And Jay hangs out with him, and I'm wondering, like, does he really not realize, though, that he built Jay? So then all of a sudden, the Vargas Bugglers show up, except these enough about the Vargas. This part was a machine empire led by this world's version of Escape. Yes, the Emperor's TriStar. Yes. I would have not been surprised at the fact that they named this character after the studio who made the 1998 Godzilla movie. This is probably Toei making a jab at TriStar, because they probably not fans of that movie. So let's get the name TriStar to one of our villains, a one-shot villain. Oh, and the movie's like a TV show. It's like episode 1, and then you jump to episode 5, where it's like, ooh, building bonds. Like, one point you have Rigi and Hiro basically punching each other over Yoko. And then, like, add a bunch of monsters. Oh, and this is one thing I do appreciate this movie. We actually have a set. We have all the Rangers in the same cockpit, but the cockpit is weird. I'm like, why did this not exist on Go-Busters? That's one thing I like about Go-Busters, the Megazord. They didn't have the scene where they all go in the same cockpit. It's the only one I've seen that does do this. So their cockpit is like covered in like... Oh, by the way, how they come Go-Busters is quite interesting, where... Because they come Go-Busters like that very day, So the Heejin also gets sort of elevated, gets to another place, and it's a command center, but it's covered in tree stuff and animal stuff. It's like more environmental friendly, this one, which is kind of weird. Yeah. So, and also the commander wears a Hitler mustache for reasons. And of course Jin gives the morphers, and they morph up and they battle the monsters. Yep. And instead with 5 instead of 3. That's different. Also, all their suits look virtually the same except for the helmets. Well, basically, Yoko, Hamuro, Rinji, and Jin, all their helmets are different. Well, mostly in the visors, not color visors, basically just open thing with little teeth on them. So, then they battle the monsters, and eventually use a 6th one. Yes, a 6th one who's a hippopotamus. Which, if you're curious, was this guy made for the movie? Oh, yes, he was. Oh, gosh, yes, he was. This is Atashi Damoji, who actually dies in the movie. He is played... Well, let's see. He was actually the voice actor for Lettuce, the talking rabbit robot. Yep, this is him in his human form. And apparently he was a dub actor for the 2017 reboot for Power Rangers. So it looks like most of the just is him basically. He's not the only one. Oh gosh, no. They even bring in, get this, apparently Kenji Farrar, who's the voice of Nick in the Prime timeline. You see him make a cameo along with the actor who plays Gorilla. Yep. Goroski Banana. Yeah, I found that to be interesting. Yes, the fact that we actually had these voice actors cameo as themselves. Kind of, in a way. Isn't that kind of weird, the fact that Lettuce is that his voice actor plays basically the hippopotamus? Yeah. So they have him die like very next thing. Apparently him and Yoko had a thing in this reality, and then he died and he tells him to take care of her. And it's implied these two may become a couple. Oh yeah, they have a version of Pink Buster here, who is Pink Cat. Except it's not the regular one. Nope, it's actually Himura's sister who joins the Go Busters. I'm like, what? Why? Because she was a thief. So this one was really weird. Because in the Prime timeline, Pink Buster actually fell for Red Buster. Yes, seriously. She fell for him, and everybody teased the fact that he got his first love. He got a woman who fell for him. I'm like, damn. And then, like, they beat the Emperor TriStar. And then the movie, and they get to basically beginning where they have everybody clean the base, like, this seems familiar. And his age shows up, and they all die again. So he's with God, and of course, about Double, and he's like, I know. Can you take the ultimate created the Wish Go Busters, bring it to the regular reality with them, and have be his age that way? And God's like, sure, no problem. And then of course you have like 9 Rangers team up. Yes, 9 Rangers team up. It's like a team up, and here's the weird thing: the Prime ones get the battle suits. By the way, the battle suits in the other one are not like the shoulder pads one. It's like a full vest in that reality. I'm like, really? Also, briefly, I almost forgot to mention this before I continue here. The commander becomes Nightwalker. Yes. I'm like, it's like they pull a lot of cues from classic Sentai with this movie. Like, their poses that they do. That's some Dynaman. The commander becoming basically a ranger, an extra ranger for like one scene. You could say it's kind of from Deca Ranger. I knew about that because it's all in SPD. So, except they joke the fact he's old, so he puts on the suit. And he looks like, oh crap, gotta basically do it. Yeah, I found basically the whole thing with them to be just a parody of classic Sentai, which is fun. Yep. And then they actually have where they beat the monster, he goes giant size, and they have all 9 Rangers in the same cockpit with the buddy bots. And of course, everyone was like, the regular one was like, what in the world is this? And why the heck is the console freaking twig? Yes, it's a branch stuck in the ground, and you apparently just pull this thing, this apparently controls the Megazord. I'm like, they don't really explain that here. I thought that was really weird. They beat the monster, and then, of course, the Ultra Reality Go-Busters disappear, and that's that movie. It's a very interesting movie. I do like the whole Ultra Reality type of thing, the idea of it, and the fact that they go on serious adventure. I wouldn't be surprised if Nick, he published a book on this whole thing in the regular Sentai reality about the Ultra Reality Go-Busters. That would be interesting alongside with the regular Go-Busters book. That might be, but who knows. But that's the last thing discussed for Go-Busters until I talk about their crossover with Kira Ranger. But what about basically the other movie? This is Shinkenger Returns. Now, but by the way, before I continue, talk about the movie itself. The runtime of these movies. The Go-Busters Return versus Dōbutsu Sentai Go-Busters. That was almost an hour long. The Shinkenger Returns is like about 15 minutes. And the movie starts out looks like an Edo. Yes, in Edo. Where like these guys arresting this guy, where this crooked official arresting a guy to just be part of his forces. And then the Shinkenger show up in their Edo attires like, oh, I know you're from the Shepherd House. And by the way, they had the whole thing of all their names like Hogan Chi, and of course also Big Sis Miko. Like, there's online the fact that the actress who plays Miko is a very beautiful woman, and it just shows us off about that. Amber gets old nicknames, and like it was something really weird, and then it transitions into like you have like gold sushi, well basically the gold Shinkenger, where he bows silver sushi, like, and then it comes a revenge western, where it's all about eating sushi, like who's better, and then like, oh, they see a thief, which transitions to a cop drama. Oh, by the way, they do poke fun of this stuff later on, don't worry about that. So, and then this leads to a high school drama, and then like, you think like, oh, we're back to Shinkenger stuff, except in this reality, like all that time basically Taka is the leader. In this one, it's like Ryosuke is the leader, and it was like animal stuff. And they come in after a bunch of guys in animal costumes to get their butts handed by the Nilox, by the cursed ones. It's like, and then it transitions into an old Toei a space epic. They're like, ray guns, and then they realize, okay, how do you get this thing? Shoot the energy spinny things. And I think they're back, and they morph, and they turn the Megazord, like, oh wait, why is it going bigger? Oh, by the way, the whole wraith is behind this. Gets cast illusions. And so the way they get out of this, they're like, oh, like, okay, the King's Beam, like, oh wait, there's a spinning windmill here. Destroy that, and then they restore prime reality because they realize that their retainer, the G, he is not here. So they get out, and eventually the guy's been stuck in second life form all this time, and then they beat him. And that's the movie. Pretty interesting movie for what it is. I do like the tropes that they use here. I'd say the ones I really enjoyed here are I enjoyed the samurai one, and I really enjoyed the cop one. I thought that was interesting. The Western one was kind of fun. Oh, and they poke fun at everybody's vision, like basically where Taka is like sitting on like an elevator platform, which is so fun. Even the Western period's so funny. The fact he did this, he's like that's the thing. It's like okay, he was Lord all over delusions except for Yosuke's. Who was Lord Yosuke's? Ryosuke. Yes, seriously. Oh, this was kind of funny. Yeah, but that's last for Shinkenger. As far as I can tell for Shinkenger, like when it comes to them, like you might think, is that the last thing to review for Shinkenger? Because all the main episodes, main series, are all done. Like, is there any movies left? No, this is the last one. So, or they're special, yes, but they're just mostly clip shows. Yeah, but I'm not really aware about it. Shinkenger, yeah, Shinkenger is officially done. It was also great seeing this movie again. See this movie, and I was able to see, whatchamacallit? Oh yeah, it was nice to hear the open theme song again. Yep. But yeah, that's particularly it. Particular view. I'm just gonna basically wave it up. Basically, I'm gonna do the video later. So please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications, and do not hit the dislike button. Okay, next view. Bye.